In this video, we're looking at the NIV Pocket Thinline Bible. This, I think, was newly released. There have been other editions like this in the past, but I don't think the NIV from Zondervan has been released in this specific format for a little while. I think this is the first time it's in the comfort print. I could be wrong, but it's 2021, and I believe that this has just been released. And if you look on the back here, you can see all the features. It comes in this slip case here. We're looking at the brown leather soft edition. They do have various cover options available. It retails for $29.99. You can get it for cheaper than that, of course, online at Amazon or christianbook.com. I think anywhere from $20 to $25 right now. So very affordable Bible, some really nice features. And this is one of these formats, this design size Bible that some people really, really like because of its unique portability, which we'll take a look at. But you can see here, it's got some good features to it. The complete text of the Bible in the NIV, less than an inch thick, pocket size, double column format, satin ribbon marker. The words of Christ are in red. It is in the comfort print for the NIV, and it is a 6-point print size. So that's going to be probably the biggest downside to this Bible for a lot of people will be the small print. But as we look at it, you can decide if it would be right for you. I will say that we are talking here about a very portable Bible. So the print size, though small, this is not a Bible that you're going to be using for everything. It's a Bible you're going to be using specifically when you want to have something very easy to carry in a very compact format. You can easily fit this into a purse or even a pocket, maybe a glove compartment in your car. If you just want to have it everywhere with you, this is a very easy Bible to carry. You can see looking at the cover here, it's a very unique design. While they call it leather soft, a lot like a lot of their other imitation leather covers, it is very unique. It has almost like a corduroy design to it. I don't know if that's the right word, but as you can see, it kind of has these ridges here. But it still has a very smooth feel, or I should say almost like a suede feel to it. So not slick and smooth, really, but not what I would call a coarse texture either. Actually feels very nice. It kind of has a nice tactile feel to it, easy to hold. It does have perimeter stitching there. You'll see it is a brown color scheme to this one with the brown head and tail bands, a brown satin ribbon. The ribbon here, nothing super special. I think it's single-sided satin. So there's a sheen on one side here. Kind of has a rounded spine to it. Nice gold gilt on the edges of the page there, the page edges there. And it is a paste down liner. It's really interesting because it looks so much like the other Zondervan NIV Bibles, but just in this unique footprint here. And the footprint, by the way, is a lot like a checkbook. It kind of looks almost like a checkbook from this angle here, but it is a lot thicker, of course, than a checkbook. So these Bibles in the past, I think, have been called checkbook-sized Bibles or checkbook Bibles because of the look of the footprint there. Anyway, getting in, it is a paste-down, paper paste-down liner. It does have a presentation page. And then some title pages. And here's the copyright information. So it does say here this was printed in China in 2021, and it looks like it's the first printing. Here's the table of contents. So you really get everything in this Bible that you would in a lot of other NIVs. It doesn't have a map section, but it does have some extra helps in the back. So here's the preface to the NIV. And already you're seeing the size of the font here. holding it up close to the camera, it's actually quite readable. And I have to say, I really am pretty impressed with the opacity of this paper, being that it is such a small Bible. I'm really happy with the paper that they chose for this. And looking at the text here, you can see it's actually not too noticeable ghosting. I think it's quite readable. As long as you're okay with a 6-point font, I think it looks really good. And I think this is where the comfort print kind of shines, to be honest, because it is printed pretty boldly, and yet at a small size it's still crisp and clear font. And I think that's really a great thing about the comfort print. From what I understand, it was designed to be easy to read even at small sizes. You can see, as it said, it was a double column format. It does have section headings in a bold font that is easy to pick out there. There is poetic setting for poetry. The verse numbers, they're there. Obviously, all of this is very small, so even the verses are going to be actually in that superscript font, even smaller numbers than the biblical text itself. But you can still find the verses if you need to. And then let's look at the poetry in the middle of the Bible here. And being that these pages are so long and thin, that is going to affect the look of the poetry. But honestly, it's not too bad. I don't think it looks like they have a lot of just, 1 or 2 words on a line. There's plenty of those, but you'll see that even in regular Bibles with a word left over at the end of a poetic line. But overall, I think the poetry, considering the dimensions of the pages, looks pretty good. And again, really not bad ghosting. So if you're okay with a 6-point font, this might be something. If you want this kind of a footprint, this might be a good Bible to look into. As we go through the Old Testament here, and getting into the end of the Old Testament, then we have the New Testament title page. Now you get to see the words of Christ in red. And looking at it here, I think they did a really good job with this red print. It looks quite uniform, and I don't think it's eye straining to my eye. And again, everything is printed very crisply in this Bible. I think they did a really good job with this. And then we'll get to the back of the Bible here. Last page of Revelation. Then you see these extra helps, table of weights and measures. I like these charts, the miracles of Jesus, the parables of Jesus, perspectives from the Bible, prayers of the Bible, promises from the Bible. So I really like that Zondervan will put things like this at the back of a lot of their Bibles. Very last page here has a note regarding the type. This is about the comfort print typeface designed for this Bible. 2K Denmark does a really good job with their fonts. And then you have the final end sheet, paste down liner there. And on the back of the Bible, they do have the cover design, leather soft, and the ISBN. So that's a look at the NIV Pocket Thinline Bible. One thing that I will do is just compare to a couple other things, just to show you the font size in comparison to a New Testament in the CSB that I have. This, I think, is also listed as a 6-point font. And looking at the two here together, you can see that the comfort print, I would say, does look similar in size. So I would say it's a true 6-point font on the left there. Pretty close to the CSB on the right. And this is just a New Testament. When you put these two together, you can see actually they did a good job getting the entire Bible into this footprint here. The New Testament is actually a lot smaller than the Old Testament. So it's pretty great to see the size that they were able to make this Bible, obviously using very thin paper. But again, even though that paper is thin, it's really not bad in terms of its opacity. I think they did a great job with that. One other Bible I'll compare it to is the NIV Pit Minion. Now this is kind of a gold standard for Bible design and quality, but this is still a small Bible, kind of like we're looking at here, obviously a wider footprint, but both of these are very thin and very easy to carry. The Pit Minion does have references, center column references, but it's also a 7-point font in the Pit Minion, and on the right here you have the 6-point font comfort print, and you can see how those compare. And I would say actually in terms of readability, this is not too much worse than the Pit Minion. It might even be about the same, honestly. It's very similar. And actually I would say in terms of the red print for the words of Christ, I think that the red in the NIV Pocket Thinline is probably actually a little bit more readable overall. And that's because there's just a little bit of print inconsistency with the red in this particular Bible, this particular Pit Minion. So I would actually give the points to the NIV Thinline here, which is amazing because this is a very inexpensive Bible. But they really did do a good job with the printing of this. So if you're looking for that kind of a format, that kind of a form factor, I think this might be a really interesting Bible to look into, the NIV Pocket Thinline Bible. Let me know if you have any comments or questions about this Bible. I'd love to see that in the comment section below. But thank you so much for taking a look at this Bible with me from A Frisch Perspective.